Welcome back to the show. Let's try this for the third time today. I'm telling on myself. Did the petrodollar agreement end today? We're going to talk about it and take a look at it. And guess what else we're going to look at too? The DTCC, and is Ripple connected to $3 quadrillion worth of settlement? The answer is 100% yes. We've got it for you today. Somebody roll that beautiful intro.
Digital Perspectives with Brad Kimes. Come on in.
Welcome back to the show. You can follow us on Twitter, YouTube, and digperspectives.com for exclusive content. Right now, $2.68 trillion market cap for crypto. The market is up 0.1%, and we are seeing 69,400 plus for Bitcoin, 3,600 plus for Ethereum, 112 billion plus market cap for USD Tether at the moment. Remember, later this month, MiCA regulations kick in and say that USD Tether is not a stable coin. We'll see what the effects may or may not come from that. 49 cents for XRP at the moment. We're up 0.8 on the 24, still off by 3.9 on the 7-day. Range of price is between 50 and 51 cents. We'll keep an eye on it. Listen, I do want to tell you about this, and it's linked to private equity, ladies and gentlemen. And let me tell you a little something. I'm going to show you unequivocal information today that Ripple is absolutely connected to a systemically important financial market utility. Write it down. And you can get that private equity on Link2's platform. That's right. Ripple is connected to a $3 quadrillion repository, clearinghouse, settlement company. That's what we're talking about. And I'm going to prove it to you today. And I'm just reminding you that if you haven't signed up for Link2, you could buy that private equity before the DTCC starts driving their value of daily settlement through that system. So just trying to let everybody know where you can find that Ripple private equity and other incredible companies too that cover all of the expanding industries that are absolutely booming right now. Do not miss this opportunity. Click the link to my sponsor below the video. Oh boy, here we go right here. This is XLM connected to the DTCC. I'm going to start this off right here. Actually, you know what? Yeah, I'm going to play this for you right quick because then we're going to talk about some other stuff. Let's start here.
XLM holders need to know this now. Franklin Templeton is a giant. They pushed $270 million onto the Stellar network. But what's even crazier is WisdomTree. We know that they were tapped in with Stellar back in 2022, and they still are. New York gave them the green light to offer stablecoins on certain public blockchains. This is actually utilizing the DTCC's tech stack. Just recently, the DTCC bought up Securrency, and they're tapped in with Citi, Wellington Management, and WisdomTree in terms of a proof of concept behind tokenization of private assets. And when you look at the DTCC, they are settling $2.5 quadrillion in a single year. This is absolutely crazy and could very well be exposed to the Stellar blockchain. If you guys do want more exclusive updates like this,
not very well, it is exposed to that. We're going to get more into that. But remember, we covered over the weekend here, and if you didn't catch it, it has been said and rumored that there will be an end to the petrodollar agreement with Saudi Arabia and the OPEC nations. Now, this is where the elevated status for the US dollar comes from as the world reserve currency. This is what helps underpin that confidence that the deal was struck back in 1974 with Henry Kissinger after abandoning the gold standard just 3 years beforehand to ensure the confidence of the US dollar around the world as a global reserve currency, that all oil trades would be done in US dollars, effectively giving it the name petrodollar. Right? So that we know is not being honored today. Saudi Arabia is doing billions of dollars of deals in Chinese yuan, and we know that they have intended and even floated the notion that they will be joining the BRICS coalition. So will that end today? That is what has been said, rumored, discussed. I don't know. I have no way of confirming it until we start hearing it being said, if it's going to happen at all. So head on a swivel when it comes to that. This is a reminder that Saudi Arabia's central bank has joined Project mBridge. Well, this is interesting because BIS's Project mBridge, according to James Wallace, has been described that XRP Ledger is in fact at least one of the pilots of Project mBridge, if not mBridge itself. So the plot thickens. Why are we talking about this and the DTCC? Well, this document that's shared here by Mr. Mann really confirms the understanding that DTCC had acquired Securrency, a company, and then rebranded it as DTCC's digital assets. The person, Nadine Chakar, that you've been seeing, she's been on video clips here lately that you've been seeing, was the head of Securrency and was brought over to the DTCC to run and head up DTC's new division, Digital Assets, which was formerly Securrency, right? Now, this is the thing we need to understand, is that we need to understand that all of this is connecting the technology that we understand, distributed ledger technology, blockchain, and it'll be Stellar, Ripple, EOS, Ethereum, I'm sure XDC, Chainlink, and all these other systems, plus the legacy systems that exist. DTC is partnered with software provider R3 to launch Project ION using R3's quarter distributed ledger technology software. More evidence of what we know. This, in fact, is Nadine Chakar from Securrency and now Digital Assets from DTCC testifying in front of Congress. What I'm going to do is play this, and there's a surprise clip from Brad Garlinghouse in here as well, and I'm going to show you what I believe is so important about the DTCC moving to distributed ledger value protocols is because it is in fact a SIFMU, systemically important financial market utility, and there is no question that Ripple is in fact connected to this $3 quadrillion behemoth, because that is the current number today, notwithstanding that old clip that I showed you from Stellar. They are now saying they're doing 3 quadrillion a year in settlement. So it's massive. It's absolutely massive. Why is it important? Why am I showing it to you? And the talk of the petrodollar? Because even if the petrodollar doesn't end today, there's still a de-dollarization movement happening around the world. So whether the petrodollar agreement ends today or not, there is still a huge problem lying in front of the dollar, and it is the de-dollarization and the continuing overprinting of the dollar itself. So there will be a day to roost. It's just about whether we find out whether that day of everything coming home to roost is sooner or later. Nevertheless, there needs to be a solution that gets into place. I believe that using value protocols like the XRP ledger and other new protocols that are out here to underpin and help with the settlement of these large repositories and clearinghouses like the DTCC can begin to move the value of the world onto these value protocols, allowing for more liquidity and utility to inform the market of what the actual price is of those gas tokens like XRP on the XRP ledger and what their value may be to help settle these things in a new manner, in a new way that has never been done before in the history of mankind. Write that down, because that's the truth too. Take a listen to this clip here.
On behalf of DTCC, thank you for this opportunity. DTCC owns and operates 3 clearing agencies that have been designated systemically important financial market utilities. NSCC, which clears broker-to-broker transactions in stocks, bonds, and other products, provides clearing and settlement services for approximately 200 million transactions a day. And our Central Securities Depository manages lifecycle events such as dividends and corporate actions for over 1.4 million eligible securities. DTCC is literally the heart of the post-trade processing in the United States securities industry. So not surprisingly, we are subject to strict risk management standards and heightened oversight by US regulators, primarily the SEC and the Federal Reserve. DTCC is industry-owned and governed, and we have a long history of innovating purposefully. More specifically to the topic of today's hearing, we have been developing digital asset solutions since 2016. DTCC recently acquired Securrency, which now operates within the company as DTCC Digital Assets. DTCC Digital Assets provide institutional-grade blockchain infrastructure to facilitate end-to-end lifecycle processing for tokenized real-world assets. Our goal is to develop technology that could ultimately underpin the evolution of an enterprise-wide digital asset infrastructure. So in other words, we are working to align the company's existing infrastructure with new tokenization capabilities to realize the benefits of post-trade processing of real-world assets in digital form on blockchain. I also say we've learned a few things since joining DTCC. We've become deeply involved in efforts to harden the security technology to ensure that it satisfies the incredibly robust requirements for operational resiliency that applies to systemically important FMIs. We've also learned a great deal about the complexity of processes that exist in the industry. And perhaps the greatest lesson of all is that technology on its own won't change the capital markets. It will require collaboration and coordination among all stakeholders, and it needs to be measured and thoughtful.
Exactly. I mean, ultimately, as you know, Ripple is really focused on how do we enable an internet of value? How do we make value move the way information moves today? And that's our big kind of multi-year, 10-year view of how the world will evolve. And it's really how do we dial that back and to make it tactical and real today and tomorrow. And I think if you want to enable an internet of value, you've got to connect the repositories of value. And the repositories of value, as big as the Bitcoin value proposition is today, the banks own trillions and trillions and trillions of dollars of assets. So if we want to enable an internet of value, we've got to connect the banks and payment service providers and MSBs. And we're excited to have made a bunch of progress on that.
Depository Trust Clearing Corporation, DTCC.
Time and time again, the global financial markets have leaned on financial market infrastructure to drive change. We believe digital securities and tokenization will be no different. And FMIs like DTCC have a critical role to play. We applaud the committee for this.
And here you have it right here. We developed CAT 20 and CAT 721 standards because security tokens should be truly liquid. They should not be limited to one ledger, and they should be easy to trade, transfer, and regulate, said Don Donnie, CEO and co-founder of Securrency. And we know we're hearing the same thing from Nadine Chakar as well. If we look at this, and let me just go back to this image here so I can play it here. If we look at this new protocol will enable efficiency, transparency for issuers. CAT 20 and CAT 721 tokens can be issued and transferred all across Ethereum, Stellar, Ripple, GoChain, EOS, and among others, as well as legacy systems. Privacy sector connecting to public sector language, said another way, is connecting distributed ledger technology value protocols to the largest repositories of value throughout the world. Systemically important financial market infrastructure is what SIFMU means. SIFMU, which is what DTC is systemically important financial market utility. The adults in the room get it. Now, the children and the trolls can complain and whine and try to tell us that it's about something else, but even David Schwartz, in interviews at Consensus, said it too. Technologists are not enough. We have reached a point where we need the top down. We need the institutions to come and adopt value protocols. Why do we need that? Because then the technologists, the developers and builders will know where the demand is, right? Because these companies and institutions are going to choose the value protocol that they feel suits them best. And then the builders can know where I need to build because ABC institution decided to use XRP ledger or some other ledger. And then because of the idea that that technologist may have is that I want to build there because my problem solves a problem for ABC institution on 123 protocol. You see where I'm going here? So this is super, super exciting to me, ladies and gentlemen, I could tell you. And again, banks aren't coming until there's absolute clarity. Listen to Citibank.
Regulatory standpoint, it's not permissible for us to hold crypto. Right. So
from a regulatory standpoint, it's not permissible for us to hold crypto.
Regulatory standpoint, it's not permissible for us to hold crypto.
There it is. So until it is, it isn't. Right. But everything's being connected because they know at some point it is. And Brad Garlinghouse talking about stablecoins and the best use case because we all know what? Ripple's about to launch a stablecoin. At the same time that we're hearing that USD Tether will not be regulation compliant at the end of this month. Isn't that interesting? Very interesting. Understanding Robinhood is going to acquire Bitstamp. Optimism in listing XRP and Ripple stablecoin RLUSD. Yeah, super excited about that. Not to mention the fact Bitstamp strongly supports the XRP ledger, having already issued 6 stablecoins on the ledger: USD, Euro, Japanese yen, British pound, Australian dollar, Swiss franc. Sounds like the world's using the XRP ledger, doesn't it? You're damn right it does. You're damn right it does. Which makes this easy to wait for, ladies and gentlemen, whichever way it's going to go. Nobody is a predictor around here, and this is not financial advice from me, him, or anyone else. But Eggrad Crypto says XRP, the next 41% pump will be epic. Why? He says because we need a 41% pump to be on the edge of the triangle, and in 2017, we experienced a similar 41% surge, and then Valhalla awaited us. Will history repeat itself? Eggrad Crypto says, my answer is a resounding yes. While I can't pinpoint the exact percent pump, he says Fibonacci 1.618 is his ultimate target. Now let's take a look at what that ultimate target is. You got to be aware of your dollar cost or dollar sell average strategy. In other words, what he's saying is, because no one can predict the exact path of price. You know, as you can see, there's a lot of up and down on these charts. You know, nobody has the luxury of knowing in real time how much up will be before how much down sideways motion goes on. So if we experience it, you better have a strategy in place that works for yourself. He calls this the taking profit zone. Up here at the 1.618 is a $28 XRP, and that is his ultimate target there in the near term. So I'm super excited for that as well. I've got targets between $8 to $10 and certainly north of 15 to 25. But, you know, again, I believe XRP can go to 4 or 5 digits. And I also believe once we get regulation and legislation completely clear, especially in regards to DeFi platforms, and then maybe some insurance companies to these DeFi platforms in case something goes wrong, because I know everybody believes nothing can go wrong with a DeFi platform. Oh, my goodness. But the reality is such that, you know, I still want to see complete clarity for these DeFi platforms, because I know that that is the next iteration of finance, and I'm super excited about it, but I don't want to get burned to learn about it. That's the difference with me. And that's going to do it for me right there. That's it. You can support the channel one of 2 ways, and you can help yourself. If you want to support the channel, the Freedom Zone is the way to do it. You get daily videos with 0 Google ads and extra content in a VIP conversation and private Telegram group. And you could also join the DPMG if you're into furthering conversations about not only wealth creation, but maintenancing your wealth, protecting your wealth. If you're into those things, we're having great conversations with a remarkable group of people. So you can join us there as well. We hope to see you inside. Not financial advice from me or anyone else. I'll catch all of you on the next one.